Enya is a singer-songwriter who writes and performs Celtic New Age songs. If you ask her, though, she wouldn't classify her music as New Age. When asked what genre she would classify her music as, she would reply Enya. Ireland is a place we think of as enchanted. It's where the leprechauns live, the Emerald Isle, a place that even those who don't know the rich history of Celtic mythological tradition see as sort of magical. Many people say Enya's music has an ethereal quality, so it's no wonder she was chosen to be a voice of the wise, elusive, immortal elves in Lord of the Rings, reminiscent of the similarly elusive druids of Celtic tradition, who undoubtedly existed as spiritual leaders but left no written accounts or artifacts of themselves. Her music is modern, yet it manages to encapsulate some of the mysticism of the ancient stories and legends of the land which is her home. Throughout this PowerPoint are images of Ireland. As a musical group, Enya actually represents 3 people working together. Enya herself does the composing and performing. Nikki Ryan produces her albums, and Rona Ryan writes lyrics in various languages. Enya renders lyrics in Irish herself. She performs all the percussion, instrumental, and singing parts in her pieces usually. It's specified when she doesn't. There are some songs where she features acoustic instruments, but usually almost all the sounds in her songs are created by a synthesizer, like the one pictured. The trademark sound people recognize as hers is accomplished by layering her own voice, sometimes as many as 80 times. For the songs where there seem to be more than one vocal part, or at least more than one person on the same part, the vocals are performed individually and then layered to form a virtual choir with all the voices actually being Enya herself. She is classified as a mezzo-soprano. Enya was born on May 17, 1961, and given an Irish name that is unpronounceable as written to non-Irish speakers, such as myself, so I will not attempt to pronounce it. However, the anglicized version is pretty manageable, Enya Brennan. She was brought up in Gweedore, in the northwest corner of Ireland, the 6th of 9 children. Her family is all musical and Irish-speaking. Her grandparents were in a band that performed all over Ireland. Her mother taught music after a career of playing in a dance band. Her father was the leader of the Slave Boy band before he opened Leo's Tavern. From a very young age, she performed at the local theater and sang with her siblings in her mother's choir. Originally, she went to college to study watercolor painting and become a classical pianist. Enya and several of her siblings and 2 uncles formed a band that came to be known as Clannad, which is pictured on the slide. She played the keyboard and provided backup vocals until later when she left to start her own solo career, forming her own recording studio named Aigua, which means eagle in French. Enya was first credited under her anglicized name for writing some of the music for a movie called The Frog Prince, which came out in 1984. She also produced music for a documentary called The Celts, which was featured on her first solo album called Enya. Her album didn't get that much attention at the time, though, other than a couple of her songs were used by other artists in their own works, such as a song by Mario Winans called I Don't Wanna Know, which also included a rap by P. Diddy and became Enya's top charting single in the US. Her breakthrough came with her album Watermark, which came out in 1988. This album features a pretty well-known song called Orinoco Flow, which topped the charts in the UK and peaked at number 2 in Germany. The album Watermark sold 11 million copies. Enya's reaction to this was quoted as being, "The success of Watermark surprised me. I never thought of music as something commercial. It was something very personal to me." After the success of Watermark, Enya started having problems with stalkers. Pictured on the slide is Enya's home, Manderley Castle, on Killiney Hill Road in Dalkey, Ireland. Several stalkers succeeded in breaking in and attacking members of her staff, after which she invested about €250,000 in increased security. In 1996, a man was seen in Dublin wearing her photo around his neck, and he stabbed himself after being turned away from her parents' pub. By 2006, she made it to the number 3 spot in the ranks of wealthy Irish entertainers, with a fortune of about $165 million. She's performed all over, even for the Pope, and she still sings in her mother's choir every Christmas at St. Mary's Church. Enya's album Shepherd Moons followed Watermark after 3 years, earning Enya her first Grammy. It sold 12 million copies, and songs from it were featured in various movies. This is one of my favorite songs from Enya. It's called Smount, and it's on her album Shepherd Moons. It's dedicated to her maternal grandparents and written in Irish Gaelic. Some of the lyrics, very roughly translated to English, go something like this. Listen to my heart, forever sad, I'm lost without you and your wife. The great love shown by the two of you will guide me. Be with me always, day and night, weeping due to the great loneliness, the tears, sorrowfully asleep in quiet green grave in a deep peace. I thought on the day you were both at my side, telling tales of how things were. I remember the day, carefree and happy. Be with me always, day and night. And that'll be enough in the interest of time, because we have some more to cover. Enya has performed in 10 languages. On her album Amarantine, she performs in Japanese and a language invented by Roma Ryan called Loxian. She created the language when she found herself unable to create lyrics she was satisfied with in English, Irish, or Latin for some of Enya's songs. She was inspired by her work with Tolkien's Elvish languages, in which she used to write lyrics for Enya's songs in The Lord of the Rings. Loxian is described as a language spoken by futuristic people on a distant planet, whom Enya says are looking out, wondering if they're the only ones who exist. Most of Enya's songs are in English, some entirely in Irish or Latin, some in Welsh, Spanish, or French, and some, for the Lord of the Rings movie, in the Elvish languages Quenya and Sindarin. The runes of the Loxian alphabet are pictured on the slide. To close, this is the 1997 music video for Only If by Enya. She's made around 20 music videos. This is a taste for the lighter, more whimsical flavor her music can have. For this one, you get to see the whole thing. And that lovely buzzing sound is the QuickTime Player recording this song thing. Don't know what it is. Hope it doesn't mean anything bad. There's a journey in all of us, when there's an ocean that's in the way, and for the growth and all there is the sound, and for tomorrow all goes as well. If you really want to, you can hear me say, only if you want to, you find the way. If you really want to, you can seize the day, only if you want to, you fly away. Yup, that was it. Looks like. So we're good.